Air here. Welcome in to Extra Point with yours truly, Phil Jones, coming to you here on this Monday. Going to be with you until 7 o'clock, 7-ish. Sometimes we'll go a little bit longer if we have to. If you are new to the show, it's real easy. Want to hear your comments? Man, we got a lot to talk about today. Want to hear your comments. The playoffs are next week, not this Friday night, but next week. Everybody will get it. So there's no football this upcoming week, okay? Just so everybody understands. Now, has the reclassification changes been announced yet? I'm a little bit late getting here to the show today. So, what's up, Obadiah Farley? TCC, number one fan. Obadiah, what you got, man? What you thinking about this? So it's reclassification. I guess I'm caught off guard. I've been writing about the playoffs, been covering the playoffs. My buddy Alan Clanton said that there's some changes. Okay, Brooks Carter, yeah. All right, so reclassification just dropped. Okay, so I hadn't had a chance to look at it yet. And I hate that. I hate that I hadn't had a chance to look at it. And I'm coming here on the air. I'm coming on the air cold. So I am going. What's up, Mark Dixon? TCC here. So we got TCC is represented. Obadiah Farley says I haven't seen anything yet. Joseph Matthews, Colquitt County Packer Nation. See, this is what I like. I like for you guys to tell me where you're checking in from, who your favorite team is, and let's talk playoffs, guys. What do you think is going to happen? I'm going to be honest with you. It looks like mostly chalk in this first round. In other words, I think for the most part, things are going to go pretty much as they should, meaning there's not going to be a lot of upsets. But there's a one or two maybe. Rosser Sutherland's checking in. What's up, brother? Rosser Sutherland, hello from Marietta, prepping for Harrison in round one. Oh, that's going to be a good one. That's a good one. Now, that's a good game there. Phil going with the ugly... Again, well, listen, Rosser, send me some Marietta swag. Tell Craig and Coach Duke to get off to send me some swag, man. That's where I get. I mean, look, Coach Kareem Reed, who of course, man, I had some great fun with. I had great fun with these coaches shows today. By the way, guys, for those of you that don't know, I'm hosting 6 coaches shows: Colquitt, Tift, McEachern, Roswell, Worth, and Tift. No, I already said Tift. Who's the other one? Hoco. How could I forget Houston County? So we have really struck gold with these coaches shows in terms of players that are teams that are still winning. Tift County tomorrow will be the last coaches show of the year, but I tell you, I like Tift County. I like the direction they're going. They got the right coach. So it's just going to take a little patience, man. It was Tift County was in a mess when Jeff Littleton got there, and so he's trying to get it straightened out for sure. But anyway, Luke Nelson. Oh, my gosh. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Okay. My eyes are playing tricks on me because I could have swore I saw Luke Nelson in here, and that's not possible. Not in the first few minutes. Oh, wait a minute. It is. Big Buford is in the house. What's up, brother? Is that a little fun with you, man? Rusty Cravey. My gosh, man, it must be a full moon. Let me check out there. Rusty Cravey. Phil Jones, dang gummit. Them Blue Devils had another close one. I heard, man. They allow a last-second field goal. I was actually on the air, Rusty, Friday night when Jamie Fraley Seeger, who is a Camden fan, was giving me the live update. Said that Camden had drove down. They're about to kick the field goal. They did. And, yeah, and good for Jamie. She's a Camden fan. But, man, for Tift, that's hard. But, look, Jeff Littleton, like I said, he's going to get this thing turned around. He's got quite an uphill battle. Tift County came out and started well this year, but then just kind of trailed off. But, anyway, Jeff Littleton will get the Tift County program back on track. I can guarantee you that. Rufus is Demand is in the house. And Rufus is Demand. Colquitt knows the way to Hodgson. Been there before. By the way, Hodgson, the home of Mill Creek High School, which is about 10 minutes from Buford's new stadium. Okay, Brooks Carter says Tiff County going to be 6A. Well, they have been 6A. Oh, no, wait a minute. So they're not going to make the jump to 7A. See, I got to get used to that too. All right. Travell Lowe is checking in from Carrollton, pulling in for the Carrollton Trojans. What's up, Travell? I think this is your first time in the house, is it not? Welcome to the show. If you are a newcomer, welcome to all the new viewers checking out the show. Man, we're going to have a lot of fun today talking about these GHSA state playoffs. Rusty Cravey, no, I didn't skip you, brother. Rusty Cravey says, Phil Jones, you skipped me. No, I didn't. Larry Thompson Jr. still riding high after the back-to-back wins over Gainesville and Milton up here in Rossville. Larry Thompson, man, what a game, or I should say what games that was between Roswell and Gainesville a couple of weeks ago, and now Roswell and Coach J.T. Thompson come back and they do it again. This they're doing up there, Roswell rocking and rolling. Look out for the Hornets in the postseason. We're going to talk about their playoff. Guys, I've been saying this from the very beginning. There's so many great storylines with these playoffs. There's actually been great storylines all season long, but man, here we are now going to ramp it up and get rocking and rolling. What do you guys think? Obadiah Farley always asks me, what's my biggest upset, or who I think is going to be who I think is going to upset who, and I think with these first round of the playoffs, there's not going to be many. Now I'm going to take a look at everything, but we got a lot to get to today. But that's one of the things that we'll look forward to. Now, the reclassification. Bring me up to speed on what's going on there with reclassification. What are the major changes with teams moving up or down? It was apparently, I guess, the bracket or the reclassification numbers, as they call them, the FTE numbers. That's simply an acronym for enrollment. Okay, that's what that is. So let me know though what the changes are in enrollment. Who's moving up or down? Who's changing classifications? And let me know some of the bigger ones out there, and I do appreciate that. Coach Price, Sumter County, checking in. Jose Padilla, what's up, Jose? I told you to check into the show, my man. I appreciate you doing that. Rayon, Dodge County Indians at Rabun County. That's going to be a big one for sure. Bill Nair, Eric Alexander, he skipped you. Wait a minute, man. Let me go back here. I don't want to skip anybody. All right, Rusty Cravey. I did mention you. Rusty Cravey. Because listen, you said Phil Jones, dadgummit, them Blue Devils had another close one, and I talked about Tiff County. I didn't skip you. Rusty, I would never do that to you. You are my best buddies, man, for sure. All right, Alan Clanton checking in. Alan was the first one to notify me today earlier, just as I was about to go on the air, about the reclassification stuff. Alan, thanks for that. Let's talk about, fill me in. What's happening with reclassification? Alan sent this to me just as I was going on the air. So let me know about some of the major changes. Otherwise, we're going to talk about the playoffs today. Who you guys got in round one, and how do you feel about the playoffs not starting up until next Friday night? So it's going to be the 14th. We talked a little bit about it on Friday night during the Friday night show. So we'll pick that conversation back up tonight with the playoffs not starting this Friday, which I think stinks. So they're going to start next week. Okay, which I don't really like, but there's nothing we can do about it. So, anyway. All right, Brooks Carter says, Brooks, Lanier, Fitzgerald, and Thomasville all in Double A. Okay, and now remember, I do want to point out something. There is no more of the Class A split. Okay, I know I talked about that when they first announced all the changes, like how they were going to be doing the playoffs. There is no Class A split any longer. There's a Class A, there's 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, and 7A. So, interested, though, to see who's going to be making it up in that CR, that 7A classification. I guess only this is where you're going to get, some of these mid-sized schools, they ain't going to be moving up. And it looks like Tiff County has become one of those teams that, from all indications I'm hearing, are going to remain in 6A and not make the jump to 7A. All right, Travell, great. I'm glad that you are checking out the show, my man. Carrollton Trojans. By the way, your return guy is one of our ITG Next top performers for this week. I saw the guy running crazy, man, on social media. I was like, wait, who is that guy? So I reached out to, who did I reach out to? Oh, was it, I can't remember. Anyway, somebody from Carrollton had filled me in on his name. So I think he's got like 3 or 4 return touchdowns, kickoff return touchdowns this week or this year. So he has made our top 10 performers. Remember, I need top 10 performer candidates on the Sunday of the game, the week of the game of that Sunday, which meant like yesterday, Sunday, by about 6 o'clock, I should have had all my top performers in from coaches, and indeed, I got them. So I want to appreciate all the coaches who took time to send me those players you feel like are well-deserving of the top 10, and I will do it. Brooks Carter, yes, his tip's going to be in 6A still. Yep. Now remember, 7A, going to bring back, good over 7A, Region 1, 7A, and that's going to be exciting. It really is. It's good to see Tift County back playing football, playing meaningful football games, and it's going to be even better seeing Tift County get off and beat a top 10 team. That's for sure. Okay, so just looking at some of the messages coming across here. Rusty Bill, is it Nair or Nair? Bill Nair. Eric Alexander says he wants to talk about Cartersville. Let's do it, Bill. Let's do it, Eric. What you got? I mentioned Larry Thompson still riding high after back-to-back wins over Gainesville and Milton. Listen, Larry, Roswell is the surprise team. Not that anybody was expecting, not expecting them to do well, but come on. I think if you would have said Roswell got a chance to win that region, most people would have called you crazy. Okay, I mean, you got Grayson, of course, in that region. I'm sorry, Buford in that region. But anyway, let's talk playoff football, guys. Wintersville Classic. I was at the Wintersville Classic for the first half on Friday night. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I'm not originally from Valdosta. I'm originally from Tifton. But there is nothing at all like the Wintersville Classic. The venue gets to rocking. Both teams do with Lowndes and Valdosta, they do the big light show, and it's impressive, let me tell you. But then the game itself just has such a build-up, unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. Lowndes jumped out on top, and you thought that, okay, here we go. Lowndes about to run away with this thing, but give the Wildcats credit. They did not let that happen. They took a lead going into the locker room. They come out in the third quarter, allowed Lowndes to get the tying touchdown and then some. So Lowndes has the lead, about 2 minutes left, and then Valdosta takes over, scores the touchdown, gets a late interception to seal the deal. So to the winner, to the victor go the spoils. And this year, the Wintersville Classic Trophy goes back to Valdosta High School. So congratulations to Coach Shelton Felton and the Wildcats for their big win over Lowndes High School. Now, again, the playoffs are about to begin, and all eyes are going to be on the Region 1 6A teams, really the whole Class 6A or 6A classification. All eyes are going to be on there. Can the Region 1 6A finally represent and go up there and beat the teams that you have scheduled? And just asking. Don't have a dog in the fight, necessarily. Let's see. Nick Gray says, go Cats, Valdosta. Yeah, I got you, man. I knew which one you were talking about. Coach Price, Sumter County. I hear you, brother. Jose Bedell. Okay, so I've read that one already. Bill Nair. I got that one already. All right, so we got Jonathan Ansell. Go Grayson Rams. I love having all this representation roll around the state. Cameron Harris, worth going all the way to state. Now, I've been asking about, and I'm going to pose this question again. Some of you don't like the fact that I got Worth County ranked so high. Okay, some of you feel like, and I'm saying you, I mean, it's just people that are commenting, which is a good thing. Engagement is good. There is no such thing as bad engagement. So you can come on and call me all kind of names. It doesn't bother me. I love that engagement, though. Now, having said that, what do you guys think about me having Worth County ranked as like a top 10 team? Me? Look, I don't care about how many letters you got in front of your name. That does not influence me at all. I'll look at the powerhouse, the caliber of the ball team. Bowden just climbed into our top 25. I ranked them 25th, I think it was. And I got to be honest with you. I think Bowden, who, by the way, is going for their fourth consecutive state championship game. That's right, Bowden going for 4 in a row. I bet many of you did not know that, did you? Well, now you do. So, I'm going to keep my eye on Worth and Bowden. And of course, I got to keep up with everybody, but those are teams to watch out for. So it's going to be, it's just going to be electric, man. It's just going to be incredible. Cannot wait. Valdosta, a team to watch. Listen, 100% agree. Do not be, you're going to hear me say this over and over. Do not be surprised if Valdosta starts, if they can prevent beating themselves, I'm talking about Valdosta, they've got a really good chance to go far. But you start turning the ball over at this level, you're not going to be around much longer. I mean, football-wise, you know what I'm talking about. So, got to wait and see what happens. Cameron Harris says, Worth going all the way to state. I hear you. Ray Yawn, what you think about Dodge County Indians at Rabun County? Is that going to be this Friday? Help me out there. Cameron Harris, Worth going up to 3A. Really? How about that? So, guys, we want to talk football. We want to talk about playoffs, but I also want to know about any kind of big-time classification changes. Who's changing? Okay, so the faces and the names that we have got so far, well, the names pretty much are North Georgia, Northeast Georgia, and, of course, in Southern Georgia, where my man Brooks Carter keeping me up to speed on what's happening there right outside their front door. So, hey, look, that's the way it's got to be, man. That's the way you got to handle it. Yeah. All right, just checking out these comments here. Jim Blair says, go Pack, go. Odias says, TG. What's up, Phil? Milton checking in. What do you know about Jackson County? The Reverend Jackson. Not a lot. So that's Milton's number 1 playoff opponent? Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't know much about him. But I will definitely look and ask for some help from some of our other fans that are in here. By the way, guys, thank you so much for checking out the show. Please stay with me. We're going to go all the way till 7 o'clock, and we're going to have a blast, man. We're going to just, you guys can talk, and I'm going to try to read every single comment. If I miss you, just hit me again. Because I promise you, I will get your comments in here before the night is done. Cameron Harris, Thomasville going to 2A. Mark Breedlove, what's up, Mark? Worth County all the way. And I may be repeating some of these comments. I apologize. It's okay. Rory Corden Edge, what's up, Rory? Crisp County and Stevens County. Jim Blair says Milton going down. Is Milton going down? Really? Now that's interesting. Wayne Gladden says Fitzgerald Canes. I hear you, brother. Green County at Early County and Washington Wilkes at Seminole County. That'd be a good one. J.E. Woods. Good afternoon, Phil. What's up, J.E.? How you doing, brother? Keith Gladden. GIAA Valwood Valiants. It says Keith Giddens. What's up, Keith? Gabe Garrett. Evening, Phil. Toombs checking in. Time to finish our work in D1 before moving up to dominate 3A. Darius Kirksey, Mr. Bracketologist, is in the house. The real season begins now. You are certainly right about that, Darius Kirksey. Jim Blair, going to be, Road Hogs, man. They're going to have to be Road Warriors, aren't they? Obadiah Farley. Okay, I'll look at what that is, Obadiah. I appreciate that. Darty checking in, first round, Jefferson County. Okay, so check this out. So everybody knows Rich Finley, coach of the Bowden Red Devils. They're going for 4 straight state championships, okay? So I talked to Coach Finley yesterday. I talked to him by text. And he said, he sent me a couple of players for our top performers list. Their quarterback, who had transferred from Johns Creek. No wonder Johns Creek. By the way, do you guys know the story on Johns Creek? And I'll get back to Bowden. So Johns Creek had not even scored this year. Forget about winning. Okay, they had not even scored this year. That was until they got a field goal this past Friday night. And it was a pretty long one, I think. It was like 40-plus yards. And I don't know if that was their only points of the night, but you would have think they won the Super Bowl. Bless their heart in their own way. They kind of did. So, hey, you get to a playoff game. We'll find out who their opponent's going to be. But you get to a playoff game and you get that win no matter how loud, how crazy it is. You get your first points of the game. Johns Creek was able to do that. And so, look at there. Here they are on their way. Johns Creek is another one of those teams that just fell off completely. My buddy Matt Helmrich had Johns Creek playing really well back a few years back and led them to the playoffs. Then they decided to part ways. Bad move. Anyway, it is what it is. Good people will always survive. And Matt Helmrich survives, goes to Peachtree Ridge. But anyway, Johns Creek, that job is open. And that's a great place to live. I lived there for 10 years in Forsyth County. Great place to live and raise kids. So if you're a coach and you're interested, you may want to check it out. Andrew Watkins says, Darty checking in. First round, Jefferson County. That should be a win. And by the way, we're going to do a playoff prediction here in just a minute. Justin Henderson Carter, go Cats go. Boy, they did the other night, didn't they, Justin? Looked really good. Lincoln County Red Devils going all the way. Justin Henderson Carter says, go Cats go. All right, so I mentioned about the head coach of Bowden's Red Devils. So I got his 2 players he sent me for the top performers list, our top 10 performers list. Well, I mentioned to him, I said, oh, by the way, Coach, I have dropped you guys in to our all classifications top 25. Now, here's a guy, I wonder the last time he paid for a meal there in Bowden in Carroll County. Do you guys realize how many teams Carroll County's got? I'm talking about good teams. You got Central Carrollton, okay, J.R. Harris, the all-everything quarterback. You got them. You got Bowden, 3-time state champions, going for a 4th. And then you've got, of course, Carrollton High School. How is that possible, guys? 3 powerhouse programs. I keep saying this word unbelievable. I don't know another word to use, man. It's just incredible what they're doing. All right, so but I thought that was interesting because I mentioned to Coach Rich Finley that, hey, you guys have made our top 25, and then lo and behold, Coach Finley goes on and posts it. He sends the post to everybody, said, well, look at here, Bowden, we've made the ITG next top 25. And I love that kind of stuff. Love that kind of stuff when a head football coach, one of the best in the state, when they start responding to you like that, you got to love that. And so that's what Rich Finley did, responded, and was very happy about making the top 25. So I love that. And again, I don't really care about how big a team is or a school is. If you got a Class A, Class AA, whatever, doesn't matter to me. And so, Rich Finley, congratulations. You certainly earned it. Brooks Carter, looks like Tift is the only one remaining out of their region in 6A. How about that? Justin Henderson Carter, nice meeting you at VSU's homecoming. Yes, Justin, it was, man. I'm sorry. I forgot to put that together, brother. Likewise. Thank you so much, man. You guys were so kind to me out there. I really do appreciate that. Cameron Harris, I feel like it's a good thing and a bad thing about playoffs starting next week. Good because it gives players a break and get ready for the next team, but bad because there's no high school football this week. Listen, great point, Cameron. By the way, we're going to do a Friday night show. I think we'll start earlier than we normally start at 10. So why don't we start, if y'all want to, about 7:30. Man, let's get on in here and let's just, we'll just talk high school football. We'll talk about the playoffs. Let's talk about some serious state championship contenders. who's going to take it all the way. So Friday night, we're going to be here to cure your football ills. Going to be here Friday, live in the house. We'll do, like I said, do about an 8 o'clock show, and we'll take it about 10 or 10:30. Again, just kind of fulfill your high school football needs. All right? So trying to do my part, man, for sure. All right. Stephen Tate. I want to thank all the guys that made our tailgating the best in the state. Glenn, Reed Hodges, Keon Paul, Desmond Andrews, and all the lady helpers. I love cooking with these guys. Hey, Stephen Tate, guess what? Tailgate of the week. Man, they do such a great job over there, Stephen. Really appreciate what you guys do. And thank you for sending me some pictures of what you guys do, for sure. All right. Jim Blair says three-way tie split the region title. Yes, they did. It did wind up with Colquitt, Lowndes. Who am I missing? Colquitt, Lowndes, Valdosta. The team that won the region. So three-way tie. Now you start to look. Here's where I get a little confused. I understand what the points against. So you had a three-way tie in the region. excuse me, 1-6A with Colquitt, Valdosta, Tift. Now, Colquitt defeats Valdosta. Okay, just saying. Colquitt beats Valdosta. Valdosta beats Lowndes. Lowndes, what did Lowndes do? Lowndes loses to Valdosta. But then there's one other game, I'm guessing, that decided the region. Anyway, just a little crazy. I mean, very crazy what happened there. And I'm not laughing because, some folks, well, it's just some bad news that came out of that. Let me just put it that way. All right, Stephen K. Wynn is checking in from Trojan Nation in Leesburg, last leg of the season. Luke Nelson, Cam Wood from Carrollton is the baddest running back in the state right now. Yeah, I saw your post, Luke, and I write. Who is the return guy, though, for Carrollton? Okay, he's the one that got one of our top performers this week from the special teams area. Okay, who was that young man? Rontre Welch. Have you guys seen this guy? This young man? What a beast. He had a 99-yard kickoff return the other night. And I think that's his third one of the year where he's taking it 99 yards. Just saying. The guy's making a name for himself. Matt DeBuck is in the house. Matt, what's up, brother? Coach Matt DeBuck, I should say. Let me give Matt DeBuck the proper salutation. Good evening, sir. It is Coach Matt DeBuck to you, says Matt DeBuck. Great to see you in the house. Matt DeBuck, if you guys don't know, is the head coach of the Cardinal Gibbons Redskins. Cardinal Gibbons Chiefs. They made him change the name. Don't that stink? Anyway, love my guy Matt DeBuck. He's a great man. Great man. Great father, great coach, just a great all-around guy. Ray Yon says, do you know anything about Rabun County? Well, I can tell you this. They're not the Rabun County of old. Now, they're still going to be a very formidable opponent in the playoffs, but they've had some coaching changes. They don't have the stability. Remember, by the way, do you guys remember who was the starting quarterback? Can anybody at all? Can anybody tell me who was the starting quarterback there at Rabun County? Was that 3 years ago? You guys should know his name. He's pretty popular right now. He's pretty popular. There you go. I just dropped the ultimate hint there. Jose Badilla, what were you wearing, garnet and silver or black and yellow in that Wintersville? I'm not going to lie. I was wearing all red. But it was simply because I had... Oh, listen, buddy, I want to... Brother, listen, Jose, maybe you don't know me that well, man, but and listen, man, I don't care. I'm going to wear what I want to wear. I'm going to root for who I want to root for. So, yeah, I mean, you can ask me anything, anytime, and I'm going to shoot straight with you. That's the only way to be. But yeah, I had on all red. I had a red, and again, it really wasn't. I mean, I didn't have anything black and yellow. Okay, I've got a pullover that's Wildcats, but that was sent to me from another Matthew Lozada, the head coach of Richmond Hill. So, excuse me. But anyway, yeah, I wore all red. I wore a red cap. I wore my red ITG Next cap. All right. Anyway, y'all don't want to know about that. Joshua Chase Garnto can vouch for me. He saw me there. What's up, Josh? Phil, talk about the schools getting the letters from GHSA regarding the sidelines. Yeah, so if you guys haven't heard about this, and by the way, Josh, thanks so much for checking out. Jamie Ledger's in the house. Chris hosting Stevens County in the first round. How big that's going to be. Jerry Harrison, hello, Phil, checking in from Monroe area. Jerry, by the way, man, prayers up for, I guess, is that your grandson that was in the hospital, man? I hope everything is going well there, and I mean that, dude. This is serious. High school football is just talk, but what you got going on there in your family, man, is that's the real deal, buddy. And by the way, Jerry, if you want to tell the story, man, you can. A lot of people probably wondering what I'm talking about. But anyway, so, all right. So what Joshua Chase Garnto was talking about. So the GHSA has sent letters to certain schools whose sidelines are basically, they're not wide enough. Okay. I mean, Colquitt County, for one, and they're just the first one to come to mind. I think Camden's pretty tight. I think Marietta's tight. But there's got to be a certain amount of distance from the sideline to the wall where the fans, where the bleachers begin. And it creates a really bad situation if you've got these two guys that are just, whose momentum is taking them to your sidelines. Yeah, y'all seen the schools I'm talking about. I mean, again, I'm not trying to point anybody out and trying to pick on anybody. It's just it is what it is. Now, here's my thing. What are you going to do about it? I mean, and again, I'm not being a smart aleck. What in the world are you going to do about it? I mean, how are you going to make it? I mean, you're going to do one, two things. You've got to somehow manipulate the field. You understand what I'm saying here? There's not many options. Okay, you've either got to physically move the football field somehow, some way. And if you extend the football field out, well, you got to do something to the other side. Because the field is what, 55 and a half yards wide? Or is it 50 yards wide? Anyway, somebody is going to have to really get down to the brass tacks here, so to speak. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they handle. But that's the letter that Joshua Chase Garnto was talking about, that all the schools get asking, or I guess demanding, that you've got to get your sideline space back in order. So going to be interesting to see how they do that. Obadiah Farley says most of our region. Let's see here. Milton is playing at Shiloh, says Rosser Sutherland. Yeah, that's going to be a win. Jeffrey Rowland, nice Rush Limbaugh tip of the hat. I was wondering who called that. The Reverend Jackson. Jeffrey, man, you're the only one that's ever caught that in all the years I've been doing that. The famous Rush Limbaugh impersonation of the Reverend Jesse Jackson. And again, if you get it, you get it. Alan Clanton, what does 2 stars mean by school's name on reclassification? I think it means it either excludes football, I believe. Because I remember I saw that last year. Guys, I'm really wanting to know, help me out here. Who are some of the bigger schools? What are some of the bigger names? I didn't get a chance to look at the reclassification before I went on the air. So who are some of the schools that are being reclassified? Who are some of the bigger schools that are making you go, oh, wow? Okay, let's talk about that. Let's integrate some playoff talk in this thing as well. Jim Blair, then private schools with a bye won't play till Thanksgiving. Gotcha. Bruce Carter, quarterfinals in GIAA Class AA Gatewood at Southwest Georgia Academy this Friday. But Alan Clanton, I think that's what the 2 stars mean on the school name on reclassification. Guys, I have got a question for everybody. Okay, by the way, Obadiah Farley. The Bearcats get their first win this past Friday. Can't wait to see who they hire to be next coach. Daryl Kramer. Hey, Mr. Phil, Appleton County Pirates in the house. What's up, brother? I picked you guys to win, by the way, Daryl, this past week. I picked you guys to win over Pierce County, and you got it done. Okay? Ranks Swanigan. Gainesville over Dunwoody. Yeah, that's not going to be very pretty there, man. I can safely say that you are going to get that one right. Okay? Bet the farm, man. I would like to know what you guys think are going to be some playoff upsets. First round. I don't see many. I'll be honest with you, I don't see many. I'm about to we're about to put our brackets out, and we'll go over it all together. How do you say? What do you say? Darty is at Jefferson, not Jefferson County. Oh, big, big difference, man. That's a big difference. With apologies, Jefferson County. Yikes. Okay. It's been nice knowing you. Yeah, big difference. Jefferson County and Jefferson. So Stephen K. Wynn getting that cleared up for us. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just, man, it's amazing what 2 letters can make all the difference in the world, isn't it? Bruce Carter says Mountain Zion Carrollton is also in Class A D2 playoffs. Gwinnett got 20. Got 20 what? Darty backed in because they beat Monroe. The Lady Darty Trojans flag football playing at home against the Lady Patriots and the Lady Tornadoes in a doubleheader tonight. That's cool. Guys, do y'all know how fast flag football has grown? I think Georgia has got the fastest growing flag football league in the country. Or at least they did 2 years ago or something. I mean, the number of teams that are being added is phenomenal. Okay. So, I told you guys there was something I wanted to ask you about. And I've got to ask. Okay. So, last week, we put together this Wintersville graphic. I think you guys probably saw it, right? Where I went back and researched, how the overall series, which I got to be honest with you, is not as easy as it sounds, for sure. But the Wintersville Classic. Okay, so I need y'all's help on this, and I'm serious about it, sort of. I mean, it don't really matter, but anyway, I want y'all's opinion. So, the Wintersville Classic, to me and to most people, when Lowndes and Valdosta play each other, it's called Wintersville. Now, we basically put a graphic up, and I'm sure you guys have probably seen it by now. We had all kind of information. It was kind of Wintersville by the numbers thing, where we had a lot of different facts and figures and how the series has been over the last 10 years and this and that. Well, in the graphic I put, our Anna Limoges is the one that built the graphic. She's very talented, by the way. All the graphics that you see on our site has been built mostly by Anna Limoges and my buddy Flint Dykes. They are very, very talented. Anyway, so the first graphic, I think it was we said that the Wintersville Classic overall series is blank, whatever the wins were. Now, I consider the Wintersville Classic is the entire series since Valdosta and Lowndes started playing. Okay? I mean, just because they decided to start calling it the Wintersville Classic and whenever. Come on, splitting hairs. Again, the point being that we got somebody and this is all good natured. I mean, it's no big deal, but it is kind of I want to get it figured out. So again, in case y'all didn't know it, the Wintersville Classic, that term was coined officially, well, if you want to call it that, by, at the time, local sports writer. Well, wait a minute. I'm getting it mixed up here. So Johnny B. Lastinger was a local dignitary. I think he was president of the Chamber of Commerce. And Mike Chasen had come up with the term Wintersville in a story a few years earlier. They were having this meeting. And people from all over the town were invited to this function. Well, in this function, particular chamber function, John Lastinger, he went on to play for University of Georgia, quarterback, University of Georgia. He was quarterback at Valdosta, but John Lastinger, Sr., said, we're going to start calling this game the Wintersville Classic, and that's when the official Wintersville Classic began. Some say. To me, Wintersville is Lowndes versus Valdosta going back to whenever they started. Okay. Now, nobody has argued against that except for one person. So, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's much to do about nothing. Okay. To me, do you agree the Wintersville Classic should refer to the entire Valdosta versus Lowndes series? Here's my question to you guys in a nutshell, and again, just it's real simple. Do you guys think the Wintersville Classic should simply be the name for all of the Valdosta versus Lowndes games, or should it only apply to when a gentleman got up on stage? That gentleman being Johnny B. Lastinger. And again, I think he coined it in 1981. Maybe I'm off a couple of years, but I think that's right. So that's my question to you guys. What should be the answer? And we'll make it. We'll post. We'll see how many votes we get. And like I said, I really want to know. I believe the Wintersville Classic should be called that with everybody. Yeah. I mean, when all the teams have been playing, Valdosta and Lowndes have been playing, that's what I meant to say. Okay? So, anyway, I don't want to waste a lot of time on that, but I would like to get y'all's thoughts. Travis Townsend, what's the bad news? I don't know. What is the bad news? Amir Lattimore says Lee Nicholson from Sandy Creek is the real deal. Yes, he is. Now, what was it his older brother, the other Lattimore? What was his name? What was his name? Anyway. Okay, so let me get back and get some of these comments because, again, I was explaining the Wintersville Classic thing. And, again, I just think that it needs to be called the Wintersville Classic ever since they've been playing. That's my thing. Okay. Dwayne Little, Brooks County's in the house. Terrell Miller, Cairo's checking in. Lee Nicholson, Sandy Creek will win 3A. Really? Okay, could happen. Okay, so Michael Baxter says go Milton. J.E. Woods. Okay, so I'm getting lost in some of this conversation. So, guys, listen. Let's take a look at the playoffs. Okay, and by the way, I wrote an article about this last night. It's up on our Facebook page, and we're going to be taking a look at, I'm going to be breaking down like a couple of classifications at the time. Okay, so in Class 6A, as I started the show off with, I think it's pretty chalk. It's pretty much chalk. I think Valdosta is going to breeze. I think, I will say that Colquitt, only because they've got to travel a long way, and this long travel takes a lot out of you. And I don't know if Colquitt's going to go up the day before, if they're just going to leave that morning. I don't know if they're going to do it Rush Propst style. I don't know. But anyway, Colquitt's got to make that long bus trip to play, Mill Creek, I believe it is. And then you've got Lowndes has got to play Collins Hill. And that's going to be at home. So Valdosta, Lowndes will be at home. Okay. Richmond Hill, bless their heart, got to travel to Buford. Love Matt Lozada. That may be a little bit too much to ask, going up to Buford and getting the win. Now, let's assume, and guys, let's bring up any bracket or teams y'all want to talk about. I don't want this to be just me. Please feel free to let me know what playoff bracket If it's 5A, we'll tackle 6A and 5A today. And let me know which team you want to talk about. And let's do it, man. Let's all get in here together, okay? Because I don't want you guys to be bored. I want you to be active and talking to me about something you want to talk about. By the way, Michael Baxter said, hello, what's up, Mike? So, I think Valdosta is going to make a pretty good run. I think they'll win. They're playing Decula, whomever. Not going to matter. Valdosta will win. And then Valdosta, I'm trying to remember who they would have in the second round if they win, which they will win the first round. So I think Valdosta's first real test could come against McEachern in the quarterfinals. And by the way, guys, also, I was on the GPB Sports All-Stars earlier today. You guys can check that out coming up here. I believe it will be posted maybe tonight or tomorrow. It's the GPB All-Stars, which I was a part of today. I'm actually a part of that whenever we do the GPB All-Stars. Basically, I cover the south end of the state, and you got people in Carrollton, me, that kind of thing. So, but we have a lot of fun with it. Score Atlanta's a part of it. Anyway, so want to know though what you guys think about the 6A bracket. Okay. Okay, so Obadiah Farley, where you at, brother? Obadiah says the big rematch and the fans have been waiting for is going to be TCC and Roswell. Guys, when does that happen? Now we're going over to 5A. So when does TCC versus Roswell? When could that happen if indeed it does? What round will that be in? Okay, help me out there, guys. Come on. All right, just looking at some of the comments here, guys. Travis Townsend, said only football. So that's what the Double Stars meant. Yeah, so that's what I thought. All right, Obadiah Farley answers my question about Wintersville. It's been called that for all these years. Why change it? So again, Obadiah, the argument is that when it was not called Wintersville Classic until a guy, again, Johnny B, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but just for the sake of clarifying. So, Johnny B, whatever his name was, Johnny B said, look, we are known as Wintersville, and so the Valdosta Lowndes game will from here on out be called the Wintersville Classic. Well, my thing is, when I hear Wintersville, to me, that's just Valdosta versus Lowndes. And if they started playing, the two teams started playing in 1968 or whenever it was, 78, whenever, I'm going to say the Wintersville Classic series record is this. And here's why, okay? And see if this makes sense to you guys. I understand that Miss Johnny B. Lastinger decided to start calling it the Wintersville Classic in a certain year. But now that we go back and we want to just call the Valdosta Lowndes series the Wintersville series, the Wintersville Classic series, why not? I mean, what's the big deal? Here's my thing is, was the field dimensions different when they started calling it the Wintersville Classic? You know, when that name came out? No, of course not. So anyway, just thought I would make my point, and again, we'll move on about that. All right. Travis Townsend, you said it was some bad news pertaining to a tiebreaker situation. I don't know, buddy. I'm lost. I don't know what that. It'll come to me in a minute. I don't know. I really don't. Evan Reese, I'm interested in Coffee versus Sequoia first round. Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that. And again, I wrote that in my story that you guys can check out. So I wrote the story last night. I'm not even remember what I wrote about, but I did mention that the Coffee Sequoia game. Remember last year, Coffee Sequoia. That was the game first round where you had the Tyrone Woodgett, or was it Tyrese Woodgett? He went crazy. Ran for seven football fields. And I'm not lying. Now, different year. Tyrese Woodgett is not around, This is not the same Coffee team, but here's a question for you guys. Okay, here's a question. Sequoia got embarrassed in that game last year. And I believe it was Sequoia that beat Gainesville in the opening round last year, right? That enabled them to go on to play Coffee in that second round game. I believe I got that right. You just got to wonder if Sequoia's got bad memories from that game against Coffee last year. Now, and again, I'm not saying that Coffee rubbed it in. That's not at all what I'm saying. But that was embarrassing. Okay, that's just the way it is. It was embarrassing. So, do you think, if given the chance, it's a big if, will Sequoia try to, I don't know, maybe try to run up the score if they get a chance to? Like I said, they may not have it. They may not have that chance. I mean, Coffee's playing a little bit better. Coffee gave TCC, it sounded like all they can handle the other night, but then again, I was not there. I'm just going off what some of the people on both sides had to say. That's all. But score turned out pretty lopsided, I think, like 41-17 or something. So anyway, just would love to hear you guys' thoughts on TCC. All right. I'm sorry, Coffee and Sequoia is what I meant to say. Would love y'all's thoughts on that. And TCC as well. Now, let's talk about TCC. TCC, I think, has got a pretty good draw, do they not? TCC fans, Obadiah, Jose Badia, everybody else. When does TCC start running into trouble? Not trouble, but when will they encounter some resistance? When does their first real test come in? Jeremy Williams, Lee County will easily be a Final Four team and possibly win it all. Okay. I don't necessarily disagree with that. Let's see. Marietta in an upset over Harrelson in round 1. By the way, did my buddy Lauren Maxwell give a point differential, the point spread, in predicting these wins? Evan Reese says TCC and Roswell would be in the semifinals. Oh, my gosh, guys. Can y'all believe that? Whew. Wow. Unbelievable. Larry Godwin is checking in. Larry, what's going on? There were some years when Lowndes also played twice in the same season, once in the regular season and once in the playoffs. Some claim that the Wintersville Classic name only applies to the regular season game and not the playoff game between the two. To me, anytime these two teams play should be referred to as Wintersville. Thank you, Larry. Boom. Done. LG said it. I said it. It's a done deal. Case closed. Next. Thank you, Larry. By the way, Larry, it was good to see your two counterparts, man. Joshua, Jace Garnto, and who's the other gentleman that shoots photography for you guys? Larry, they were doing you proud, man. They're doing a really good job. They look like seasoned pros, and I'm not kidding. Joshua Chase Garnto, speaking of which, says Lowndes can make a pretty decent run, providing they go back to the high-power offensive scheme they ran the first 9 weeks of the season. So, guys, all right, Larry, Joshua, Lowndes fans. So this is the third reference today that I have heard about the offense. And again, because I have to cover so many teams, I can't really focus on one. So what did Lowndes suddenly go to a single wing? And did they get away from something else they had been running? And again, I want to make sure everybody understands something. I'm not complaining, so don't go there. So just wanted to know, because the things I heard today was that why did Lowndes stop running their single wing? I mean, if you've been doing something for 10 weeks and it's been working out well for you, why change? And again, I'm not second guessing Adam Carter. I don't want anybody to think that. I love the guy. He's a great coach. He's a great man. He's a friend. I consider Adam Carter a friend of mine. I'm just curious, if there's anything to these questions. They sound legitimate, but anyway. So I would like to know, again, your favorite team, guys, whoever that may be, how far, what is their path through the brackets? Okay? Just tell me who your team is and what's their path through the brackets. I mean, it's not that hard to figure it out. Okay? So let me know. Obadiah Farley says, whenever I hear that name, I immediately think about Valdosta versus the Vikings. Yeah, me too, Obadiah. That's what I'm saying, man. It's just natural. It doesn't matter when it began because the game was no different before. It's no different. The two same schools playing each other. The field's 100-yard long, 55 yards wide, whatever. So it's just much to do about nothing. I mean, whatever. And again, we're wasting valuable time here. Jeremy Williams says Roswell is going to win state. Easy, nobody's standing in their way. Wow. Jeremy, so again, just make sure I understand, man. So, and I'm not disagreeing with you necessarily. I just want clarification. I love what JT Thompson has done at Roswell. Jonathan J.T. Thompson. There we go. So Jonathan J.T. Thompson at Roswell. I call him both. Jonathan J.T. So he has done an incredible job. Probably a shoe-in for Coach of the Year. Okay. Remember, he took over. And his predecessor didn't do a bad job at all at Brooks. But didn't get him to the state championship these last couple of years. And so now they're itching to go back. So anyway, I think that is going to be a good one. But Roswell winning the state championship, that's going to be tough, man. I mean, you got to get past Hughes. You got to get past TCC. And by the way, I know Darius Kirksey had looked at some of these games like this as far as the matchups. So help me out, guys. What is a likely Final Four in 5A? That's what I want to know. What is a likely Final Four in Class 4A? Okay, let me know. Okay, so here we go. So here is the reclassification. And Brooks Carter, I appreciate you doing this. So guys, check this out. So reclassification 7A. Okay, so Region 1 is going to be the same teams except Tift County. Okay. Tift County, Northside Warner Robins, Lee County, Thomas County Central, Coffee, Veterans. I'm assuming they're all going to be now in Class 6A. Is that right? Because all right, so Brooks, man, you got a comma here. Well, I think you need a period. And again, what am I supposed to be, an English teacher, man? It just looked like after the comma with the whatever. It don't matter. I'm not going to get into that. Jeff Craig is checking out. Jeff, you are a new name, I believe. Jeff Craig says Maxwell has Sequoia favored by 19 over Coffee. Wow. Whoa. Look. Okay. Stop the presses. I understand, I guess. I love Lauren Maxwell, by the way. Okay, Lauren Maxwell is one of the smartest individuals I've ever met in my life, and I'll tell you something. And he knows he knows I like him. Okay, so this is a kind-hearted comment, kind of a kind-hearted jab. But Lauren Maxwell, okay, has this kind of I don't know, call it an algorithm or some kind of formula, where he's going based off, I think, of last year or maybe this year to date. I mean, look, there's no way I'm going to pick. Okay, where'd he go? There's no way Sequoia is going to beat Coffee by 19. I don't think. Excuse me, guys. So, see, I just think that's where Lauren's system is a little flawed. And I mean that with all respect. The guy is a wizard. He is a genius. But I just happen to disagree with him on this part. Yes, I do think, Jeff Craig, it will be much, much closer than that. 100%. I'm thinking of like a 35-32 kind of game. And by the way, I've been pretty hot these past few weeks on this my Big Six, man. I was surprised myself, to be honest with you. But Jeff Craig, there's your answer, man. I appreciate you checking out the show, buddy. Mark Dixon, Coffee still wins. Yes. Evan Reese, Sequoia played Woodward in the second round, then Coffee plays Woodward Academy in the second, then Coffee in the third last year. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was past tense. My bad. Stephen K. Wynn, it wasn't the first round. Sequoia beat Upstate Gates in the first round. Okay. Whatever that means. Jane Harbin Cuppet. How did your picks go this week? 4-2. 4-2. I missed the Valdosta Lowndes game, and I missed. Who else did I miss? And I don't even remember picking this. Anyway, I was 4-2, and I missed the Valdosta Lowndes game. I had Lowndes pick to win. And let me just say something about Valdosta. And look, I've been saying all along this year that I thought Valdosta had the best pure talent from top to bottom. I still believe that. Now, I thought Lowndes did a really good job of trying to keep Valdosta hemmed in. I thought Lowndes did an exceptional job on their part. On the defensive side of the ball, that is. So, I think it's going to be a close game, is what I guess I'm trying to say. Okay. Vosky Williams is checking out the show. What's up, Vosky? Coffee fan, let's go Coffee. Man, I love these new names we've got in here tonight, guys. Thank y'all so much for checking out the show. We do this every Monday and Friday night. We're going to have a blast helping you guys get through a non-Friday night football. Or should I say a non-football Friday night? Probably sound better. All right, but you guys, Obadiah Farley, Coffee is better than their record shows. I'll say that. Yeah. So Obadiah, you were over there last or Friday night. You went to Douglas, did you not? And I know that's why you didn't get back in time for the show, and I understand. But that was a pretty interesting game from what I understand, and people were coming out of that game really high on the Coffee football team. And the way that they stuck with their game plan, even though they got behind. Of course, I'm talking about J.R. Harris. No, not J.R. Harris. That's wrong. What was his name? Anyway. Peach County checking in. Love your show. Matthew Park says, Matthew, thank you for that, man. I really appreciate that. Makes my day when you guys say that. Because gosh knows, man, I've got a lot of, it's amazing when you pick somebody to lose. Okay, I picked TCC to lose like a couple of weeks ago. It was mainly because I have Houston County as a coach's show. Okay, but there was a lady, a female fan for Thomas County Central, that got so upset, and now she comes on and calls me clown. Just trouble, just troublemaker. I ain't got time for that, man. Really don't. No time at all. All right. Let's see, where'd you go? Where did you go, brother? Of course, I'm talking about Joshua Chase Garnto. Justin Fletcher, evening, Phil. What's up, Justin? Good to see you, brother. Joshua Chase Garnto says, that's the most dominant team in 5A, hands down. You talking about TCC? Yeah. Man, come on. Guys, unless I'm missing something, and I may be, I think TCC is the team to beat. For sure. And 7 years ago. Matthew Park, Pete's checking in. Okay, I'm sorry, man. I'm doubling back here. Hey, look, I guess I keep going back to the ones that say I love your show, man. I love it. Armand Williams, yes, thank you. It was Armand. I won't forget it again. Armand Williams and Joshua Chase Carter, you guys were doing a great job the other night, man. And appreciate y'all. Really do, man. It means a lot. All right. Marvis Hudson, Carver Columbus checking in. What's up, Marvis? Darius Kirksey, your starting running back, went down for Lowndes. Not sure if the changes happened then or what. Yep. That was the Woods guy, I think, Darius. And I know that you had really called to him to have a big game, and then he goes out. And you know what? That was a big-time momentum changer. It was a shift in the momentum. It was a shift in how that game was being played. Very unfortunate for Lowndes. But they're going to have another crack in the postseason. All right. 6:40. We're going to be here with you until 7 o'clock, so we got about 20 minutes left. Listen, anything. Stephen K. Wynn says, Phil, you mean to tell me you didn't wear your green and gold Wolves logo here to the Wintersville Classic? I should have. Man, I would have loved to have done that. I love it. That's a good point. A good call, though, Darius. In case y'all don't know, Darius, what he's talking about, Lowndes' running back, Woods, goes down early in that game to injury. I don't know if he can make it or not, but look, it really hampered Lowndes. I can tell you that. I was a little surprised that Lowndes comes out throwing so much, but I guess that's what that's what they've been winning with. Obadiah Farley, Phil, what was your biggest upset this past Friday? Biggest upset this past Friday was, hold on, let me get back to you on that one. Let me look. Jeremy Williams, Coffee will easily be a championship team. Now, are you talking about this year, Jeremy? Let me know clarify that for me, Jeremy Williams, for sure, because I want to know. Okay, so, all right, Josh is back in here. All right, so I'm trying to see your comment here. I know we ran Chase Johnson more than we normally do, and I think it should be referred to as the Plowboys versus that school that used to be on Forest Street. I thought Lowndes' defense played a great game, pretty much shut down the power running back duo. However, it's really hard to win when your defense is out there 75-80% of the game. Obadiah Farley agrees with you, says, yep. Stephen K. Wynn is asking, Jeremy Williams, are you saying Appling by 28 over Carver Columbus? That will not happen. I just do not believe that's going to happen. No way. No way. Okay. So, all right, just looking for some other comments here. Willie Williams, Valdosta fan is in the house. What's up, brother? Dave Pollard, Bowden versus Lincoln County in a fight for the ages. Bowden wins 4 in a row by 20. How about that? Wow. Where will Houston County be next year? Asked Mark Dixon. That's a good question. Darius Kirksey says, I think Creekside is going from 4A to 6A. Wow, no kidding. And says that's the most prominent move I see. You would be right, Darius. If that is the case, you're right. That's a huge jump. You know, when you start talking about moving 2 classifications, and especially doing it from 4A to 6A, that's huge, man. That is big. And I'm right there with you, Darius. Jeremy Williams, Phil, I want to see a Coffee versus Hughes championship matchup. Wow. Wouldn't that be something? Man. That would be that would be monumental for sure. Monumental, no doubt about it. All right, Gabe Garrett, Toombs County first, Temple second, Thomasville third, Northeast Semi, Hurd, Fitzgerald, or Dublin. Final, Worth County. Mark Dixon says the worst game TCC played all year. I heard that. I heard that was the worst game they had played all year. And let me tell you something. Now think about this. Your TCC, you just played your worst game of the year. And by the way, I've heard more people say this. Okay. But Thomas County Central still won that game, 41-17? Now think about that, guys. I want you to think about this. All right, so you win. I think it was 41-17, was it not? And if it was 41-17, that means that you. Let me see here. What is that? Eight, 9, 10, 11, 4. All right, so that's 8 point. Anyway, I'm just trying to figure out how much, I mean, TCC struggled, yet they still won by a bunch. 15, 20, 21. 24 points they won by. 3 touchdowns and a field goal, and they struggled. Just goes to show you the powerhouse, the juggernaut that TCC. Look, I want to see TCC and TCC and Hughes, I think, would be a great state championship matchup. So, and again, I need my brackets so I can figure out. We got so much to talk about, man. So I told you in 7A, I thought it was interesting to consider some of the big teams in the first round of the playoffs. Who would be a likely upset? No, but I hadn't forgot you. I'm still trying to figure it out. And again, I need to reference my story that I wrote last night. Anyway, Andy Powell says worst game Lowndes played this season to date. Both teams look very sloppy and have a lot of work to do over the next 2 weeks. So, Andy, and again, I'm glad you brought that up. I thought the same thing now. And again, in fairness, I haven't seen Lowndes play all year. I come in, I get a lot of the snippets from fans after the game. There's nothing like actually being up close and personal and seeing the team play. And I just thought compared to what I had heard, listen, Lowndes beat a very good Kell team. Okay, the Kell Longhorns are could be making some noise. And I know this is Southern Georgia football versus Metro Atlanta. I get that. But, Lowndes has had a really solid run this year. And I think the best is still yet to come. I really believe that. Here's the thing about it. If you can survive a game like that, which Lowndes will do, Valdosta, of course, will do. So if you've got a team like Thomas County Central who just played its worst game of the year, it's good to get that out of your system because you don't want to go into the playoffs and then you run into playing your worst game of the season and that becomes it. Okay, so that's why I think it was important. I know this sounds crazy, but it was important for the Thomas County Central Yellow Jackets to play their worst game of the year and to still come back and win like they did. And now you can put it behind you and refocus, re-energize, whatever. And again, I'm not the coach, so I don't know what his schedule is going to be. But I would really think that Thomas County Central is going to get back to the basics before they take on before they get ready for their first round matchup. And again, I don't see anybody really taking. I don't see anybody competing with CCC until late in the first round. Matthew Park, TCC offensive line coach and defensive coaches are great. Experienced and have working coaches. Great for high school football. TCC will be hard to beat as long as they're here. I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Again, guys, I make my rounds. I see a lot of people. I see, speak to a lot of coaches, and I just incredible. Just this is going to be so much fun following these playoffs, and I just wish they were starting tomorrow, but they're not. All right, so Matthew Park is still trying to get some questions answered. All right, so I'm just checking out some of the comments coming in here. So, all right, Joshua, Larry, whoever the Lowndes fans are in here, what did Lowndes do different? So you mentioned that they ran Jace a little bit more than they normally do. Why did they do that? Was this just part of the game plan? What was the attack? Because again, I heard so much about this Lowndes offense, this, that. I heard a lot of good things about the defense. I could actually hear, on the little headset that they use, you could hear some of the references going back and forth. But what was the differences in what they decided to do and why? Was it just specifically for Valdosta? Because, I've been, keeping up with Lowndes, and this year, again, from a distance, and it just seems like their offense was hard to stop. But Friday night, it was not hard to stop. I'm just a little bit. I'm confused, I guess is what I'm saying, with what Lowndes did. If they changed anything up, why did they do that? That's all I'm asking. All right, let me come here and get some of these comments. Okay. All right. So 650. Let's see. Matthew Park, TCC offensive line, and okay, so that was an earlier comment. Evan Reese says, I just want to say Mighty Hornets are ready for the playoffs. All right, so here's what I want to know. Milton, guys, Milton, 2-time state champion, back-to-back. I have been saying all along that I thought that this was going to be the year of the repeat. Now, am I off base? Can I still count on that? I'm going to be honest with you. Let's take it one by one. Okay. In Class A, just looking at your likely state championship contender in Class A, and we'll look at D1 and D2. So I've been saying that I thought this year would be the year of the repeat. Now, Bowden has had a little bit of a rough go, but I think they're starting to come out of that. Again, in case you missed it, I put Bowden in as I think as our number 25 team this week, much to the delight of head coach Rich Finley, who tagged it and shared it on his Facebook page. I really like that. That's a classy coach, Rich Finley, head coach of the Bowden Red Devils. Man, I love that guy. Love that guy. And then you got Toombs County is the other Class A, whatever, state champion. Man, they have played really well. And I don't see them showing any signs of letting down either. And then you've got 2A. Who's the defending state champion in 2A? So you got Carver. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so you got... just trying to think here. You've got really. I'm trying to see who you think is going to be. Who's going to give Region 1-6A the best chance to win a state championship? Because it's going to be really tough no matter who you're looking at. I mean, it's going to be Valdosta or Lowndes, I think. Colquitt could make a run. They're known for this kind of thing. Just saying, you got to keep your eyes and ears open and peeled and see what happens there. I'll put it this way. I think 5A, so let me go back. 2A, who's the defending state champion in 2A, guys? That would be whom? Help me out. So you've got North Oconee, which, by the way, I don't see anybody touching North Oconee. Let me do it this way. I'm going to name the state champions, defending state champion, who I think are going to win it again. I think Toombs County is going to win it again. I think Bowden is going to get it done. I think they're going to win their fourth state championship in a row. So that takes care of your 2-1A, your Class A split, which thank goodness is going away. Class 1A. Try writing out a region. Like I do these stories, try writing out a region in 1A Division 1, or in the same way, 1A Division 2. Write out a sample, just as if I'm writing a story. And it's just crazy how much effort is involved. But anyway, so your Class 1A is done. I think both of those defending state champions have an excellent chance of repeating. Okay, so now we go to 2A. Let me see. Who is in 2A? Who's the Class 2A? And, of course, I know we got private. We got to take that into account. Willie Williams, while we're looking for the answer to that, somebody help me out there. Class 2A defending champion, that's Carver, right? 3A is that Calhoun? 4A. All right, if we don't get it here, I'll have to go to the cheat sheet. All right, do tell. We're starting to run out of some time here. So 6A, 5A, 4A. But I would like to know odds-on favorite early on. Who's going to be repeating? Milton, maybe. Going to be a tough stretch, though. Milton trying to make it 3 in a row. I don't think. And by the way, did Derek Baker ever return for Bowden? I mean, for Milton? Inquiring minds want to know. Stephen K. Wynn says, what a storyline it would be for Lee County to finally play complete games in Roswell, upsets TCC for a Roswell and Lee County final. Wow. Steve, I'm going to have to borrow that. I'm going to have to borrow that idea from you, man. That is a good call, brother. Good call, Stephen K. Wynn. No one's even talked about that. Stephen K. Wynn, Hebron Christian is private. Yes, I got that one. By the way, did y'all see how bad Prince Avenue Christian got beat? In fact, I think it may have been against Hebron Christian, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, that was a shocker. Okay. TCC not only losing will tighten your focus, but bad games help as well, especially in the playoffs. Matthew Park, I agree with that 100%, man. Listen, how many times do y'all see a team losing and then coming back out and just playing their tails off? A lot. I've seen it a lot. That's why I'm telling you, if you can get past it, if you can take control of it, then you have an excellent chance. So, anyway. James Raymer, looking at the reclassification numbers, all the current 6A schools will be 7A except Tift, Chapel Hill. Okay, check this out. This is good stuff here. Looking at the reclassification numbers, all the current 6A schools will be 7A except Tift, Chapel Hill, South Cobb, Grovetown, Heritage, Conyers, Alpharetta, Mountain View. Ooh, yawn. I'm just kidding, guys. Thanks. New to 7A would be Northgate, Seconder, would also be Kennesaw Mountain, Lakeside Evans, Lakeside DeKalb, and Arabia Mountain. Okay, well, that's pretty cool coming from. All right, so there we go with that. All right, looking for some of your comments, last minute comments coming in. Matthew Park, Phil, it's the playoffs. You can no longer give us some upsets in the first round. Okay, man. Hang on a second. Let me pull up playoff brackets, guys. What I should have done at the first of the show. Okay. So let's looky who wants Cooks pest control. All right. I'll do it this way. Okay. So Hughes will not be upset. Thomas County Central will not be upset. Roswell, no. Houston County, they're going to be Creekview. Milton's going to be, I don't even know who they're playing. Doesn't matter. Rome, now, guys, I thought, now let me get y'all's take on this one, okay? Now it's coming back to me. So Rome, Lovejoy. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Rome wins this game. But I'm thinking it's going to be a little closer than most people are probably giving Lovejoy credit for. I mean, Lovejoy comes into this game after all 8-2. But, so, big win there for Lee County. I think Lee County wins their game. Okay, so wait a minute. So let me go back. Rome, I think, is going to be a good one. Lee County at Sprayberry. Now, guys, keep an eye on this game. And again, I've written a story, which you guys can check out the story where I mentioned Lee County and Sprayberry is a game that you'll definitely want to watch. For sure. That's going to be a good one. So, see, now we're starting to get into a little bit tighter matchups here. So, I like that. In 7A, and by the way, I think if we can get there, and it looks like Valdosta and McEachern are on a collision course for a quarterfinal matchup, I believe. Who do you like in that game, guys? Because if Valdosta gets that far, and then, there's an incident on, I don't know. I'm just saying that watch out for Sprayberry. Watch out for Sprayberry and Lee County. I think that's going to be a good one. All right. Okay, here we go. Roster Sutherland helping me out here. 6A first round projected winners by me: Colquitt, Grayson, Marietta, Carrollton, Lowndes. Well, man, I want the game, the opponent. Okay, Darius Kirksey. Lee has Hughes second round. Man, that's gonna be a good one. Complete game or not, Lee isn't stopping Hughes. Too many weapons. I would agree with that. All right, so we got Tobias Grissom. I see that name and I'm reminded of Marquise Grissom. And how many of you know who Marquise Grissom is? Hopefully Thompson region will change next year. It's hard getting playoff ready with our region schools, but we definitely got a shot again in 2A, 2 home games in the Brickyard. Love it. What a classy venue. What a historic venue. Incredible place. All right. So Joshua Chase Garto, I like this. He says, Phil, here's a thought for a story. If TCC and Lowndes are poised to become the Buford and Milton of the South, I think both are starting to get the talent and the facilities to do so. What's your thoughts on that, and what does Lowndes need to do to catch Buford and Grayson? Well, that is a very good question, Josh. And I think that what that does, that has a trickle-down effect, Josh, if you know what I mean. Just one incident like that starts that trickle-down effect. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. I think that's a good thing. Guys, by the way, our coaches shows that yours truly hosted, I should say, this morning. I do believe all the coaches shows have now been posted. So I really want to encourage you guys to go on to our any of our sites, ITG Next, our Facebook page, where most of you are probably watching this. Also, our live feed on YouTube, as well as a plate. Okay, so just trying to get you guys a camera, another different camera. While someone have it, I'm glad I do not take up. Somebody mentioned smoking. Yeah, definitely don't want to do that. But you guys check out the coaches shows. Roswell, Houston County, McEachern, Worth. Those are the ones that we recorded today. Tomorrow is going to be Colquitt and Tift. Obviously, this will be the last. Stephen K. Wynn says we need about 3 million people to move to Georgia, South Georgia. Yeah, no kidding. Jim Blair, Richmond gets to see the $82 million facility. True, I tell you, Richmond Hill got a pretty good one of their own. Joshua, Jace Garnto. I may take you up on that, dude. Seriously. Maybe me, you, and Larry can get a 3-way in here, man. Let's talk about that for sure, okay? I'm very interested in that. Casey Melton, Marquise Gibson, second baseman for the Braves. No. It's Marquise Grissom, and he was an outfielder for the Braves. You were close. We're going to go a few more minutes, guys, at 7 o'clock, but why not? I mean, we've got several of you guys that have stayed here in the house, man. So we're just going to keep rocking and rolling. We'll go to 7:15, and we'll see what. I ain't got nothing else to do. Yeah, I've been talking nonstop since 5:30. Doesn't bother me, but my throat is the only thing that will stop me. Talking nonstop for that long tends to strain the vocal cords a little bit. Plus, if my dog wants to go outside, Jizzy, you okay over there, baby? Funny story. So Friday night we were on the air. And this is when Milton's Balint Vera Smarty, their kicker, goes in and is going to try the long field goal, 48 yards. So we're on the air, and somebody is texting me, just like these messages here. Somebody saying, "Hey, Milton has just scored the go-ahead touchdown, and there's 2 minutes left." And I remember the first thing I thought was, "Oh Lord, they done left Roswell with too much time," and they did. So I guess Roswell was able to run off a little bit of a clock while getting the ball closer and closer, and they finally, get it to the Milton 40 or something like that, and that's when Coach decided to kick it. And so Balint Vera Smarty comes in, and he drills a 48-yard field goal to put Roswell on top. And then they were able to hold that lead and eventually win the game. But the point being that I was sitting here calling it on the air while doing the show. And I said, when Milton scored that touchdown, I said, "Oh, Lord. All it's going to take is for Roswell to get Balint Vera Smarty in field goal range, which was just past the 50. They did that, and Vera Smarty kicked the field goal. I just thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, you guys can check that out along with today's coaches shows. Really some great insight today on the Roswell Coaches Show with myself and Coach JT Thompson. He really talks about some insight about the team, what the coaches had to say to the team before and after the game. Very, very good stuff. Very inspiring. So, anyway, all right, checking out some of the continued messages here. Okay, so Roswell to Sutherland, Colquitt over Mill Creek, Grayson over Norcross, Marietta over Harrison, Carrollton over North Forsyth, Lowndes over Collins Hill, North Gwinnett over South Gwinnett, North Paulding over Hillgrove, West Forsyth, let's see here, Valdosta over Dracula. I know that's not how you say it. I just like to have fun with it. Wow, how about McKee? Let's see. McEachern and McEachern and Walton. Boy, that is a very interesting matchup. I should know that. I talked to McEachern's coach this morning, Kareem Reed. Well, again, 4 coaches shows you guys can watch as soon as this is over. We can watch them anytime. But I would ask you to be polite and not abandon me until I check out. Trap House CBG Mechie. I don't know, man. That has got to be the coolest name I have ever heard. Making your presence known here. Trap House CBG Mechie. Says Rontre Welch, number 15, Carrollton High School. Remember the name. Yes. Listen. He was one of my 3 special team top performers last night. Okay. I put him in for his 99-yard kick return. So I certainly am going to remember his name. I promise you that, sir. Okay. So it's got... All right. So checking out some of the other comments here. Matthew Park says we're in overtime. Yes, we are, sir. We are in overtime. Jim Blair says Walton's going down. Matthew Park wants to know, Jim Blair says it's Dracula without the R. True. By the way, Allatoona. I don't know if you guys have ever heard my joke about Allatoona. You guys remember when Allatoona was good? What happened? What happened to Allatoona? Always remember, you can tuna fish, but you can't Allatoona. Oh, I got more from where that came from. Matthew Park, which classification is the most unpredictable for the championship? That's a great question. I'm going to say 4A. It's 4A's a shoe in. Gosh, that's a great question, and I can't easily answer it. I cannot easily answer that one, sir. Matthew, Very good question. Very good question. And I don't know if you guys want to help me out there. He's asking which classification is going to be the most unpredictable for a championship. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. I do not know. Excuse me, guys. Joshua Chase Garnto, it's the Phil Show, and we are here for it. I love it, man. Dude, this is so much fun. This is so much fun. We just get in here and yak, and sometimes I make sense. Obadiah Farley says, I'm a singer, it works. Well, now, you talking about something for my throat? What is it, honey? Yeah, okay, I see that. Grab some honey, it should work. Okay. I appreciate that, Obadiah. Milton down Luke Nickel might take over for Beck. Yeah, man, that's tough when you lose. Say goodbye to that. Did Derek Baker come back? I asked that earlier. I guess I'll need to reach out to Ben Reeves at Milton. In fact, I'm going to try to hit him up while we're here on the air. Let me see if I can get him. How about this? See, this is what happens when you have maintain relationships. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to jump up and answer the phone just because it's Phil calling. But most of the time I text him, he'll text me back. I'm just going to try this real quick. Hey, Coach, it's Phil. Hey, who knows? He may be watching me. Has Derek Baker... Because I think this means everything. They've been getting good quarterback play at Milton with their younger guys. They've gone through. They played 3 different quarterbacks. You just got to have some stability. And okay. So basically, I'm asking Coach, has Derek Baker Okay, so there's the question sent. So let's see if Coach Reeves will answer me before we get off the air tonight. Thanks so much, guys. I want to give a big shout out, a big thumbs up to Dr. Kevin Collins. You see his little, right there. Dr. Kevin Collins. He's a friend. He's a great physician. One of the best orthopedic surgeons in the state of Georgia. I mean, if you're with the Houston Clinic, those guys are notorious for the jobs that they have done. All right, so I want to see if Coach Reeves will answer my question about Derek Baker, see if he's returned yet. And the reason I'm bringing that up, I think that means everything with Milton. I do. And again, they've been getting, is it Ben Havali, or I'm not sure how you pronounce the young man's last name. He's a freshman. Look, they're going to be in great hands, man. And let me tell you, so they got the youngsters some playing time. No matter what happens this year, you got them some playing time, and I mean in real life situations. So those guys will battle, presumably, talking about the younger guys, for the starting position. And again, I just think that it's, just one of them things. Jose Badilla, yeah, man, I know you came with some sarcasm, man. It's all good, brother. I know where your heart is. Okay, so we've already. Which team do you think will be updated in the first round? You mean upset? I mean, and I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. That Rome Lovejoy game is a little bit concerned to me. Just saying. Do you guys think that Tift County will be able to? Will they be competitive? Will they compete for a playoff spot next year? Remember, now you guys got to remember, this is the final year of this first 4 in. Remember that changes, and like we've been pointing out to you guys, if if the playoff system that goes into effect next year for all teams, regardless of classification, okay, if this playoff format was to go into effect now, with the end of the regular season, do you guys realize Tift County would be a playoff team? In fact, all 6 of the current Region 1-6A teams. Okay, so Ben Reeves has just texted me back, the head coach of the Milton Eagles, 2-time defending state champion. Ben Reeves has just texted me back, in case anybody's thinking that I'm not telling the truth. Ben Reeves, you guys can see it right there. You see that? Hey, coaches, Phil, has Derek Baker returned yet? Not yet, is what Ben Reeves said. Now, to me, that is the key. And again, that comes from Ben Reeves, head coach of the Milton Eagles. I think that means everything to that club, to that team. If they get him back, I think that they have a legitimate shot at at least making a shot at the 5A state championship. That would be their 3rd in a row. All right, Trivia Andrews, is that your real name? Matthew Bell, 6'3", 275, sophomore from Clinch County. Remember the name. Clinch will dethrone Bowden in Class A Division II. Now, do you think that's going to happen this year? Obadiah Farley, Friday, bring him on as special coach. You know, I may do that, talking about Ben Reeves. I'd really like to get him on. I'd like to get Rich Finley on from Bowden. There's a number of coaches, and by the way, that I may bring on this Friday, just simply because the whole state is going to be off this Friday. No football. All GHSA teams will be off Friday. No GHSA football. It's going to be the first time since the season started. Obadiah, let me ask you this. I think that Cairo is a team catching fire at the right time. I'm absolutely astounded at the folks that have hung on here, man. Really appreciate you guys so much. Guys, I think my voice, though, has had about enough. Okay, 7:20. We got 2 minutes. I'll call it at 7:20. That will give us 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, almost 2 hours on the dot. Stephen K. Wynn. So 3A. So, all right. So Carver is 2A. Calhoun, is that right? 3A. North Oconee 4A. Milton 5A. I'm going by the defending state champions. And remember, back at the first of the year, I said this was going to be the year of the repeat champion. Is what I meant. So, again, guys, I'll say this before we leave. I think Bowden and Toombs County, to me, I think they have a great chance at repeating. I really believe that. And then you go to 2A. Excuse me, guys. And that would be Carver. I think Carver could beat anybody in the state. I think they're that good. I think Thomas County Central could beat anybody in the state. So I think you're looking at a possible repeat state champion. Very realistic scenario in Class A, D1, D2. 2A with Carver. 3A, I'm with Stephen K. Wynn. 3A, I'm a little bit shaky. 4A, North Oconee. They're going to repeat. 5A. 5A. Is that... That's Milton. It all depends on when they get their quarterback, when and if they get their quarterback. Okay. 6A, defending state champion Grayson, 100%. Boy, everybody just kind of forgot about Grayson, hadn't they? I mean, I'm hearing about Buford, hearing about this team, that team. But yeah, so you hear me, guys. I think there's a very, very good chance that you're going to be looking at several repeat state champions this year. I really believe that. What do you guys think? Let me know, okay, as we wind things down on this Monday. By the way, let me know how many of you guys are new to the show. I do know we have some new names in here that I see, and I love that. Jeremiah J.G. Garrison. I don't remember seeing your name, brother. Are you new? Milton's Baker is great, but they can't stop a nosebleed on the ground. They need to work on gap responsibility on all gap running plays. That's interesting. Interesting. All right. All right. Benedictine is in 4A. Benedictine. Yes, some good stuff here from Jim Blair. Final Four in 3A. Calhoun, Benedictine. Benedictine is 4A. Yes, Sumter. Guys, I think Sumter's a team to watch. Man. Some good stuff here. Very good stuff. All right, any final thoughts as we get ready to wind things up on this Monday and what has been an absolute marathon Monday? And I say marathon, we had the shows we started at this morning quite early. Took a little bit of a break in the mid-afternoon, and now here we are once again going to wrap this up on a Monday. Darius Kirksey points out, I believe Rome, though, is a more complete team. Interesting. Remember, Toombs County gave them all they could handle earlier this year. And that kind of proves my point about, again, don't be fooled by however many A's or whatever you have in the name of the school. I don't think that matters one bit. Matthew Park, Tift County's in good hands regardless of classification. I agree with that 100%. I love Jeff Littleton a lot. All right, guys, that is going to wrap me up on this Monday. What fun we had. You guys stuck around with me. I love that. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you guys. Man, look at all you guys that stuck around. We had several new people in the house tonight. I love that. Guys, let me know if you like the show, what you think. And look, I'm a big boy. I can handle it. If you think that there is something we need to improve on, other than the voice giving out, let me know. But as far as the football talk and football conversation, let me know what you think. Would love to entertain any thoughts, any improvements we can make to the show. Please let me know. I would love to hear from them. Listen, I don't get offended. Somebody tells me, Phil, you need to improve on this, on that, I'll listen. So, but always keep it above board. All right, guys, thanks again so much. You've been watching Extra Point with Phil Jones, brought to you by Dr. Kevin Collins of the Houston Clinic. Again, right here at ITGX. Make us your home when it comes to all of your high school football needs and high school sports needs, guys. Again, we have our Athlete of the Month. We have our weekly top 25 that yours truly takes care of. We have the coaches shows you guys can check out. We have our newsletter that comes out twice a week. So we do all kinds of stuff. So please like and share our page with others and let us know what you think. We think we're pretty good. All right. Until Friday night, remember, Friday night special edition, and I'll give everybody a reminder on our Facebook page. We will be dropping a Friday night show. We'll be coming in a little bit earlier. Instead of waiting, there's no need to wait until 10 o'clock or whatever. So we're going to come in early Friday night, chat with you guys, and let's have a blast, man. And let's talk about the upcoming playoff games. I will have my brackets out, and we're going to have fun. So, Matthew Park, always great show. Jim Blair, love it. Obadiah Foley, remember, it's all football talk. Jim Blair, great show. Thank you, guys. I promise you, that means more to me than anything in this world. And I thank you for the kind words. I really do. See you guys on Friday night, man. Let's have a blast. Have a great week. See you guys.